10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, my fellow low sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning to LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful realms of planet Earth. Today's date is Sunday, January 18th, 2026. This is episode 1931. American Communism Comes Home to Roost. Before I proceed, you can find me on multiple social media sites and podcast channels. Just type in Looky Luck number 3, Looky Luck Roman with 3 eyes, or Looky Luck Roman 3 Podcast. Furthermore, if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, all that good stuff, whatever you do, please use decorum. Hit me via email to ll3.podcast@proton.me. If you want to donate, go to paypal.me or cash.app/Loki Luck number 3. Oh, man. Well, what can we say, right? Everyone's taking sides. You're with us. You're with the terrorists. You support illegal immigration and hate ICE. Or support ICE. If not, don't be my friend. And I'll be very frank. I'm not anti-immigration at all. Illegal immigration I renounce in good faith. So it doesn't make me a bigot, a racist, or anything like that. There's folks out there that have different tone color than myself that came from these places. Foreign places, and they learn to adapt, learn the customs, and they love every minute of it. It's called ethics, not ethnics. I do remember times when the mayor of boat lift, Fidel Castro, did cleared out his prisons and brought a lot of them over here, but not all of them are bad people. Many of them are just pawns of the game. And we see that right now. History repeats itself in certain states. It's happening everywhere. And we have to always look at the Club of Rome agenda, because this division will have us be ruled upon. Like I said about Renee Goods, it was horrific what happened to her. But based on when I examined the video footage, she done it to herself. Of course, all the social media keyboard words don't ape over it. They need an investigation, this and that. But a lot of stuff is happening. So this is a big total distraction. And I do recall, too, Gavin Newsom, businesses are leaving the Golden State. And it benefits Paul Preston's movement called the New California. And while I was looking at that website, and most of California will be, like, if it gets ratified, they could actually take over to like 95% of the state. Sacramento, San Francisco, LA, half of LA, some of LA County would be split because people are tired of the folks out there. They're being misrepresented, regardless of partisanship. Okay? But they're violating their own state constitution, especially the Declaration of Rights, Article 1. And I read it. Overall, it's very good, well written. A lot of laws they're passing and having Gavin Newsom sign are impairing contracts, null and void. All you got to do is read Article 1. It's self-explanatory. You don't need to be a lawyer to figure that one out. And I know one gentleman who got extradited from Florida to New York, a so-called firearm piracy. Please, no victim, no crime. The great state of New York loves violating common law. I'll be talking about that too, by the way, in this episode. So you could look at it for yourselves. But it's just one of those areas. And I always question not question, but I could say these movements of liberating Iran, Cuba, other places. It needs to be organic. There's infiltrators. Some from Assad, CIA. Remember the CIA coup in 1953, Operation Ajax. You got to look that up. And I'm not lovey-dovey with their government either. They're pathetic as far as I'm concerned. Everyone assumes that everyone in Iran are Muslims, which is irrelevant. Okay, remember Jewish, Christians, and Zoharians. Very ancient religion there. And Persia has a beautiful culture. Very good history. But when you got folks trying to dictate to everybody else, it's like it gets very ludicrous. So you just got to look at all angles the best you can and observe responsibly. I'm no genius myself in these matters. I just like to look at things thoroughly and try to do a little homework on it the best I can. That's why I don't mind having my audience and folks out there share me stuff. I do appreciate that. Well, I'm going to be talking. This article actually came from AmericanFreePress.net. It's written by Paul Craig Roberts. Looks like Paul Craig Roberts' website is being under attack, which is paulcraigroberts.org. But this is where he sees it here on what's going on. And it's called American Communism Comes Home to Roost. And I'll read this article, like a couple pages long, so kick back. New York is not the only city in the United States that has a communist mayor. Seattle has one, and little doubt there are many others. I tend to regard all Democrats as communists because all of them believe that justice consists of burdening working people with the food, housing, medical needs of the non-working. I'm referring to the welfare programs such as Supplement, Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits subsidized, and rent-controlled housing and medical care provided by taxes on employed people's earnings. I'm not speaking of Social Security and Medicare. Recipients of these benefits pay substantial taxes for all their working life to be eligible for medical care and small pension on their retirement. Social Security and Medicare are not welfare programs. They are insurance programs run by the government and financed over the working life of the beneficiaries. When I was on the congressional staff of Senator Russell Long, Democrat from Louisiana, chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, Long told me that Congress had promised the American people that Social Security benefits would never be taxed. When the Ronald Reagan tax rate reductions passed, Dave Stockman and Alan Greenspan, in their hysteria, preached that America would be destroyed by the Reagan deficits unless Social Security benefits were taxed. I was no longer in the Treasury to stop the insanity, and no one else thought it would worthwhile do so. Consequently, beginning in 1984, 50% of the Social Security payments of Americans were taxed if their retirement and income exceeded certain thresholds. If memory serves, the threshold was $25,000. Later, the taxation of Social Security benefits was increased, and 80% of the Social Security checks were subject to income taxation at your tax rate. I've always wondered why Stockman and Greenspan thought that people who had paid tax all their lives for their Social Security retirement benefits should be taxed on the benefits, while those who fail to provide for themselves should not be supported by taxes on the retired incomes of the working class. Stockman and Greenspan demonstrate that some Republicans are as communistic as Democrats. Americans, especially conservative ones, have been fighting communism all their lives and have continued their fight with non-communist Russia, all while incipient conservatives sat on their butts while communism were constructed right here in the United States. Communism states from each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. In other words, there are no private property rights. Communist mayor of New York has appointed a housing czar who has made clear her belief that property must be communal, not private. She says that New Yorkers will have to become accustomed to a new relationship with property. The communist mayor thinks rental property owners can maintain their properties inhabited by non-owners who have no ownership stake in the property, despite a rent freeze. The communist mayor of Seattle seems to have the same exact idea. The communist mayor of Seattle has ordered the police to stop arresting public users of drugs. Instead, they are referred to drug addicts to Seattle programs. Apparently, the Seattle mayor wants more drug addicts on the streets and to be maintained by Seattle taxpayers. Despite the fact that Democrat administrations are communistic, we are faced with the fact that almost half of the American electorate continues to vote Democrat. This clearly indicates that the United States have, beyond all doubt, a population too dumb for the country to survive. The Trump Republicans only want to steal property of foreign nations. The Democrats want to steal the property of Americans. This is difference in the parties. The American liberals' welfare system has always been a budget item for a fraudster to exploit. When Reagan pointed this out, the moronic liberals at the New York Times, Washington Post, and TV stations ridiculed the President of the United States. Today, the fraud is so obvious that even the liberal left governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, damaged by the fact that Somali immigrant invaders stole large amounts from the state's welfare system, has announced he will not run for re-election. The belief is that he could not possibly have won, but who knows? Whatever the communism, the Democrat mayors and governors themselves do not impose is imposed by the need to support the flood of immigrant invaders for whom the Democrats guaranteed open borders. The provision of help of those in need is the function of charities, churches, and Salvation Army. Local hands-on operations are not subject to gigantic fraud, and they also provide the personal element of caring. Substituting an impersonal bureaucracy is dysfunctional, and it creates a sense of entitlement that has expanded to 42 million Americans. As a replacement of humans in the workforce by the digital revolution continues, the United States will reach a breaking point. Guaranteed income will have to be institutionalized in order that there is income with which to purchase the goods and services of robots. Technology itself is bringing us communism. Very interesting viewpoint, I can say. But one thing we know for sure is that it can lead to the road to technocracy, as far as I'm concerned. So I have a little different view on Paul, but I'm not saying he's wrong either. Very sharp man. He's been doing this for a long time. I've been following his work. And many people get offended by him, but who the hell cares, right? But one thing I always got to tell people this. The New York, common law does exist in those states. Okay, all you got to do is read your state constitution. I can give you one example here for New York, and I'll put that in the footnotes, okay? Such part of the common law and the act of the legislature of the colony of New York as altogether did from the law said the colony on the 19th day of April 1775 in the resolution of the Congress of the said colony and the Convention of the State of New York in the force of the 20th day of April 1777, which have not since expired or repealed or altered, and such acts of the legislature of the state are now in force shall be and continue the law of the state, subject to such alteration as the legislature shall make concerning the same, but all such parts of the common law and such of the acts said acts or parts thereof as are repugnant to this Constitution are hereby abrogated. So here's a fact. My dummy, okay, for an example, had his oath to protect and prevent, to honor both U.S. and New York Constitution, even though he used the book of Quran, okay? But that alone, his oath, he has to sign an affidavit form of that installation. It's public record for the great state of New York. So what I'm going to be doing here, I'll be leaving the New York Constitution of 1777 and its Bill of Rights, which got passed in 1787. And then you talk about property rights, okay? So you'd be very surprised. And what I'm going to add, too, is the state constitutions of all 50 states from ballotpedia.org. People need to start reading. I hear too many complainants, whiners, not enough doers. And I find it unacceptable. Yeah, we all have our ups and downs in life, but it doesn't mean we got to just forfeit and just whine. We got to learn to start to engage. So I always I agree with Brian McCallahan and the founder of TAB, Take America Back, think and act locally, start from the ground up. See what happened in Seattle, too, it's null and void, okay? So anything to try to do to punish people for making a living, trying to say you don't own that property, it's got to be communal, it's illegal, period. All you got to do is read your state constitution. The U.S. Constitution's fine too, folks, but start reading that. So I'm definitely going to put that in footnotes along with the 1777 Constitution and the New York Bill of Rights. I'll do that right now so I won't forget. So I'll just make that happen as we speak. Yeah, I'm just going to do this one pretty short. It's just, I'm in one of those moods, so nothing personal. And I just got to try to get myself feeling a little bit better. I have like a minor headache. I'm not here to whine. I'm just here to do the show because people have the right to know what's happening. And so I'm definitely going to add that to the footnotes of the state constitution so you folks go read it for yourselves. Don't be an illiterate. Take action. Okay. So what can we say, right? Yeah, I just heard that I'm a fan of metal at times. I like all kinds of music, and I heard finally got the new Creator album. Pretty cool, good stuff. Crushers of the World. It's good. I like it. I enjoy it. It's not like the old early material when I first heard them like 40 years ago. But I have a token of appreciation because they Millie and Ventor. They've been doing it for all these years. They have nothing to prove to anyone. So all the haters out there, who cares? They got nothing to prove to you. They achieved what they've been doing for 40 years. Over 40 years. And Ventura left one time, but he came back because it was all in the blood. But it's good to see them still doing music. Yeah, it's a little bit different in some stuff, but you know what? That's okay. I got no complaints about them. So, good album. Check it out if you like that style of metal. I vary a lot too, so don't worry. I'm into like multiple styles of music, and I appreciate it all. But I'm not a big fan of top 40 and people try to shove things down my throat. I hate that when people try to dictate to me what should I listen to. I just call them out on it. I remember one guy tried to play this metalhead rocker Pol Pot, trying to tell me how the King Diamond should try to call me. I just laughed at him. I'm like, who the hell are you? What are you, my father? Shut up. Just a chump anyway. But hopefully he matured and bettered himself. So I got no business. But it's just very comical when people try to tell you how to think, live, and wipe your own butt. It's pathetic. And this is why I always tell people, look, be a sentinel, not a faction slave. Do a little homework. Don't say, because they're Republicans or Nazis and Democrats are saviors and vice versa. One thing I could say, Andrew Jackson right now is rolling in his grave because he found the Democratic Party, and I know he renounced Jacobins. So that's just my intake on this. So friends don't let friends be Jacobins, including Pamal Mandami and all those other goofballs trying to punish people for making a living. You got a lot more power than what they think. When you use it against them, they poop in their pants. All right, so that's how I see it. And that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share throughout your social media networks. Any questions, comments, recommendations, all that good stuff, whatever you do, please use decorum. Hit me via email to ll3.podcast@proton.me if you want to donate on PayPal.me or cash out @/local3. I know this, even though this is from American Free Press, but check on. I will put on Paul Craig Roberts' website. Hopefully, it's up there because he's been being attacked and it's wrong. Because at least he had. These are the critical thinker. That's what we need. Take that route, not the her conformity. Don't wear a cowbell around your neck. That's insulting, okay? All right. Well, once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love. May your guardian spirits be with you.